Hello and welcome, this is Eric from AD Racing Central. I am very happy that the game Star Racer has finally arrived in early access. I am here to talk to you a little bit about the game. Star Racer is a retro-inspired futuristic racing game developed by Whatnot Games. I actually had the pleasure of interviewing Brendan Anderson, the game's lead developer, and that gave me a lot of insights about the development processes of the game. Brendan Anderson is the creative mind behind the game, and he's also a programmer, but he outsources parts like animations and marketing to other people, meaning that Star Racer is the result of many people's hard work. And yes, Star Racer does look a lot like F-Zero. Brendan is actually a huge F-Zero fan, as you may have guessed, but the game has its own identity for sure. Actually, Brendan's other favorite gaming franchise was Star Fox, and he describes Star Racer as a combination between F-Zero and Star Fox. I really like the concept of this, where you have the two things you like the most and you sort of combine them together and see what happens. So let's talk a bit about the game. We'll start with the gameplay. This is a racing game, obviously, where you control hovering vehicles. You race on tracks that sort of floats in the air or in space. There are several game mechanics in play here as well. You brake and accelerate as you would in any racing game, and there's also a strafing air brake-like mechanic for tighter cornering that you control with the bumpers, and with the triggers you do spin attacks for damaging your opponents that has quite a wide area of effect. The spin attacks consumes capsules that you replenish by driving over said capsules on the track, but there's another catch as well, as the more capsules you have, the faster your ship will fly. So there is some strategy involved here as well. Should you attack your opponents with a powerful spin attack, or should you save your capsules to drive past them? Speaking about flying fast, you also have your ship energy that you consume for boosting, quite similar to the F-Zero games, so you'll have to be careful not to use the boost too much or you will blow up your ship. Did I mention that you can fly as well? If you hit certain bumps on the track, your ship grows wings and takes to the skies, and you can now shoot your opponents as well. Quite a lot of mechanics here, but still not overwhelming. Brendan told me during the interview that this was one of the benefits of making a futuristic racing game that is also cartoony and goofy. You can add almost anything you like gameplay-wise and it still makes sense in the game. Racing in Star Racer is fast and the control feels tight and precise. There are a lot of mechanics to consider, like we just talked about, and you constantly need to be on your toes to determine what the best course of action would be, as smashing your opponents aside with your spin attack is super fun, but the speed loss you get from using your capsules is quite significant. There are a couple of game modes including Grand Prix, Single Race and Time Trial, but also a Death Race where you race indefinitely on a straight track where you try to be the last surviving racer. And then there's the Course Editor where you make your own tracks to race on. This creator is very simple and intuitive. One of the benefits of making a game with simplistic graphics, I guess. It won't be long until we see all sorts of crazy creations from the community. In the early access version, there's also a whopping 20 pilots to choose from, each with their own unique ship. You'll have to unlock them by playing the game, which I think was the right choice, since this is a great way of rewarding players who prefer a solo experience, and unlocking stuff is a lot of fun. The characters I've seen so far are really well designed and also distinct from each other, and during the interview, Brendan praised the animator who had made all the portraits. With this many ships and pilots to choose from, you are sure to find one that fits both your aesthetic taste and your playstyle. Star Racer is a very unique game that oozes charm. The art style mixes incredibly well with the retro-styled look and music. But behind the appealing look is also a terrific game that plays like nothing else out there. I encourage you to do what you can to support the dedicated team behind this game, and if you think Star Racer looks interesting, the least you can do is to download the game's free demo on Steam. Of course, you can also go one step further and do what I did and buy the early access version that is currently 20% off. There's also an official Discord for the game, and you'll find all the relevant links in the video description. For a more in-depth look behind the scenes, check out the interview I did with Brendan, the game's lead developer, by clicking on this video. Thanks for watching. I am Eric from AD Racing Central, and I'll see you in the next video.